He wrote it about, I forget whose sister it was. Twiggy's sister, I think, was there with them in India.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't come out of the little hut. She was like, I don't want to see anything. So her name is Prudence. So they're saying, dear Prudence, won't you come out and play?
Yeah.
That's a brand new day. You need the tuner? Want this? No, this one. Prefer.
Asamradino haibe odi, Asamradino haibe odi, Ahanana, Ahanana, Asamradino haibe odi, Asamradino haibe odi, Asamradino haibe odi, Ahanana. I'll sing to you, I'll praise to you, O source of all creation. We call your name, we sing your praise, O Holy One of blessing. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We gather this evening to welcome Shabbat. I'm feedbacking. Yep. Shabbat Shalom. Good evening and welcome. We gather to welcome Shabbat. We gather to celebrate Cantor Mendelson as she is officially installed as Cantor here at Temple Jeremiah. We gather to celebrate. We also gather to strengthen one another. This has been a very rough couple of days for our people, couple of months, couple of years, and we need one another now more than ever. And so as we acknowledge the pain, we also understand that we have to take care of ourselves as well, and so that it is okay to join together in song and in worship, even as we strengthen one another, even as we hold those who are suffering in our hearts at the same time. And so as we gather, we have such a wonderful opportunity to welcome so many members of Cantor Mendelson's family, her friends, members of the clergy, folks who are soon to be members of the clergy, and of course, Cantor Cohen. There he is. So I'd like to acknowledge just it, and certainly Cantor Cohen, Rabbi Peter Stein from Rochester, the home congregation of our Cantor, and her family. Cantor Olivia Brodsky, a dear friend, student, Rabbi Ziva Gunther, who is here as well. And we brought an instrumentalist, a Fred to be with our Fred.
You can never have too many friends.
You can never have too many Freds, especially Freds that are so skilled as musicians. So we are so very happy. And I have to say just a word about Cantor Cohen, who I feel like it's a full circle moment for me. I think I first got to know you when my mother joined Kol Zimra so many, many years ago, when you first founded this community choir, which has been amazing. And I know how much she derived pleasure and meaning from that experience. I also came to know him when I came here as rabbi of Cantor at North Shore Congregation, Israel. Cantor Mendelson knows Cantor Cohen as the director of the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music at the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, which is a lot to put on a business card. It's a lot. And so we are so very pleased to have all of you with us. And those who are joining in our digital sanctuary, we're so pleased to welcome you as well. So let's take a moment and turn to the people next to you, in front of you, behind you, maybe across the aisle. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. If you don't know who they are, please introduce yourself to them. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
And as we have the opportunity to officially welcome Shabbat, I would like to invite Cantor Mendelson's family to come forward and lead us in the lighting of the Shabbat candles and the Kiddush, the blessing over the Sabbath wine. You can find those blessings in your Siddur and your prayer books on page 2 and page 5.
Do you want me to sing them for you, or do you want to do them? Do you want to? Okay. Light the candle? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Our next piece of this Shabbat worship is a piece that actually comes from Birchot HaShachar, the morning blessings, but it is a setting that Fred Milder wrote, and Fred was my musical collaborator in Santa Fe, and so I wanted to bring something that he wrote, and so we will continue with Ashreinu, and it is such an appropriate text for this moment. How greatly we are blessed. We are so blessed to be able to come together in song and in the joy of Shabbat. So we continue with Ashreinu. The text will be on your screens. Ashreinu, ma tovtochenu, ma na'im goraleinu. Ashreinu, ma tovtochenu, ma yafa Yerushateinu. Oh, how greatly we are blessed.
Yafa Yerushateinu, Yerushateinu. Oh, how greatly we are blessed. Oh, how generous is our portion. Oh, how pleasant is our lot. Oh, how beautiful is our heritage. Ashreinu. Ashreinu.
We welcome Shabbat in all of its beauty. We welcome Shabbat with song with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 20 or 138. We'll do verses 1, 2, and 9, and on the final verse we will rise to meet the Shabbat bride.
Shalom, ateret bana, tam besimcha uvetzola, toch emuneam segula. Oi chala, oi chala.
From our Cantor, we learn not just the words of our tradition and the music that we set to it, but we learn the true meaning of prayer and blessing. And so we ask that we continue to learn together, page 27, Lamdini.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise. As each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be as the one before. Lest routine set my ways, long daily and high, Barik v'hit Balil, Amen, Tzif Todai, Bracha v'shir,
We turn to our call to worship, page 28 or 146. Please rise as you are able. We are gifted so much in our community, and none more precious than the words of our tradition, the words of our Torah. It is an everlasting gift. And so we thank God, we thank our community, we thank our Cantor for bringing us these words of our tradition. Ahavat Olam, an eternal love, page 32.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limod etam.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Laed. On page 37, we read the interpretation of Ve'ahavta together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I let you out of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Every time when we get to the section of our Torah where we read and remember the words of Mi Chamocha, we call that Shabbat Shirah. And it feels like we get to have so many Shabbatot Shirah when we gather together, when we sing this piece of our tradition, when we bring it to new melodies, new words, new interpretations. Every Shabbat, when we join together, is a Shabbat Shirah, page 40.
Mi chamocha, mi
As Rabbi said earlier, the world outside is fraught. The world outside is scary. And when we come together, when we join together on Shabbat, we have the chance to feel that peace that we so hope exists outside of this space. We know that in this space there is love, there's friendship, there's the Shabbat Shalom that we are all desperate to live within and around every moment of our lives. Let there be love and understanding among all of us. Page 43 and page 42, the first few lines of both.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot. Shalom, shalom, shalom aleinu ve'olamo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot. Shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo
As we turn to our Amidah, beginning on page 46, we'll start this section of our service together with the words of Adonai Svatai, and then I invite each of us to continue through the Amidah at our own pace, using either the words in our prayer book or the words of our heart. When you have completed your prayers, I invite you to be seated. Please rise as you are able.
Adonai Svatai.
Fred Seff is celebrating a milestone birthday. So Fred, I'd like to invite you up to the bima. Don't worry, you will not be called upon to sing. I know that was a bit of a question that you had in your mind as you were walking up here. It is an honor to be helping you celebrate this milestone birthday, this 80th anniversary of your birth, and to do so on a night like this when we are celebrating so much. It seems to fit very, very well. When Kathy and I first came to Jeremiah, the congregation generously set up 24 coffees during the summertime for us to get to meet the congregation get a chance to meet us. And I remember, I think it was Ruth and Chuck, I think it was at your house that I first met you and Ginger. And I was introduced to Fred and Ginger, and I thought,
Really?
are you kidding me? Because I was new, and I thought maybe somebody had a sense of humor, and no, it's true. It's Fred and Ginger, as it has been for so many years. And I was thinking of this moment and what you have done in your life, and in not only marriage and children and community, but I remember talking to you as you were transitioning from work, and you wanted to do something to contribute to the community. And you found this wonderful place, the Community Resource Center, where you were able to take your skills and help other people. And I thought, how perfect. That's exactly who Fred is. Fred is about community and about helping people. And you continue to do it in all kinds of ways that are obvious and some that are not so obvious. And we feel very privileged to have you as a part of our community. And so as you enter your 81st year, may it be a year of great joy and blessing, health and happiness, but just a taste of the wonderful years that are yet to come. May we be privileged to celebrate them together. These are moments of phenomenal gratitude, and our tradition gives us words, the words of Sheikh Yanu, to express the gratitude we feel in this moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
In this moment, we have, again, the opportunity to acknowledge the pain that exists in our hearts, in our community, in our world. And so I invite you to join responsively in this heartfelt prayer written by Lily Fish Gomberg. My heart is torn in two, red hair and freckled cheeks, a mother's arms forever reaching, and on another side, children whose names the world never learned, mothers who died calling for their babies, fathers buried beneath silence. Grief pulls in every direction, too heavy for one heart, too vast for one soul. There is no comfort, only tears for children whose faces we knew and children whose faces we never shown. May love be softer than this sorrow. May memory outlast this pain. May peace come, too late for far too many, but still may it come. Amen. We continue as we offer this prayer for Israel. Eloheinu ve'Elohei, Imotenu v'Avotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all of Israel's inhabitants. Source of life, bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe and speedy return home. Protect them and guide them. Kadosh Baruch Hu, holy and blessed one, Show Israel's leaders your path so they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening. Baal Harachamim, Master of Compassion, help us hold the humanity and the heartache of the Jewish people while also holding the humanity and the dignity of the Palestinian people. As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways. Spread over us your shelter of peace and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. And together we say, Amen. We know that there are people struggling with healing in our families, in our community as well. And so, as we prepare to recite a prayer of healing, I invite those who are participating in our digital sanctuary to share the names in the comment section of those that you are thinking of who are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of spirit. And for those present here in the sanctuary, I invite you, if you wish to stand and share the names of the people that you are thinking of in this moment of healing. Jerry? Misha Berach Prayer for Healing can be found on page 253 in your prayer books. Please join together.
Amen.
Steve?
Sure.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Steve Kleiman, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as president of our Temple Jeremiah community. I also had the honor and privilege of putting together, forming our cantorial search committee, and I see Ross out there. Ross Wolfson was our fearless leader as chair of that committee. We had a very lofty goal to find a talented, warm, engaging, bright, personable cantor who had a passion for what he or she does and had the skill set to succeed at Temple Jeremiah, which is no given. A very difficult task to say the least, but I'm happy to report that we succeeded. Cantor had her Temple Jeremiah debut in a 2-day action-packed interview filled with lots of meals, lots of meetings, lots of interviews, and then ultimately an audition here in the sanctuary, where it's safe to say she blew us away with her very powerful rendition of Shema Aleinu. Coming out of those couple of days, Rabbi and I said it's time to go see Cantor Mendelson in action. So we did an on-site visit and did a trip to Cantor's Temple Beth Shalom in Santa Fe. We were lucky enough to have a weekend where her rabbi was actually out of town. So she was running the show from beginning to end. 3 things really stand out for me from our visit those couple of days, besides having to leave Florida a day early on a golf trip, but that's beside the case. What 3 things that stood out. One, when she opened Shabbat service Friday night with a sweet and beautiful rendition of Hine Matov that put a real big smile on my face. The second thing that really stood out was how calm, cool, and collected Cantor was when we showed up Saturday morning for Torah study and the fire alarm was blazing in the temple. Thankfully, it was a false alarm, but Cantor took charge, moved all the audio-visual equipment out of temple to the adjacent building of the rabbi study, and she really led an engaging and meaningful Torah study. The other thing that stood out to me was following that Saturday morning Shabbat service, she incorporated the 7th graders into the service, and it was not only a beautiful service, but it was really something to see her incredibly strong rapport with the kids and her general warmth really shine through. Rabbi and I left from there to run to the airport and catch our flight, and we talked in the car, and we knew that we had found our Cantor. So Cantor, with your incredible talent, with your love for music, with your passion for teaching, with your warmth, I have no doubt that this marks the beginning of many decades of great success at Temple Jeremiah. I pray for our journey together to be full not only of beautiful music, but of joy, of inspiration, and of meaningful connections. Mazel tov, and welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you.
And I'd like to welcome up Cantor Richard Cohn, that Rabbi had said was the director at the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music, that has a lot more names that I'm aware of, and was also a mentor of Cantor at that program. So we are incredibly grateful that you're here to lead us in Cantor's celebrating Cantor's installation. Without further ado.
This is my bat mitzvah.
She said it's her bat mitzvah. Okay. Wow. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, are you going to stand with me for this?
Should I or should I go sit down?
I think it's okay to sit. As we say in Rochester, take a load off. Yeah. I don't know whether we say that in Rochester or not. So,
I have to say, what a pleasure it is to join Temple Jeremiah tonight as you consecrate your covenant with Cantor Mendelson. I feel so many wonderful long-time connections, beginning, of course, with Rabbi Cohen, who has been a steadfast companion throughout our journey as clergy. Then there's Rabbi Heaps. Where'd she go? I don't know where anybody is. Okay. Such a treasured student at HUC in New York, and now she's become an important part of your spiritual leadership. And there's Cantor Zussman. I think I know where Cantor Zussman is, with whom I've enjoyed such an alliance as friend and colleague for all intents and purposes, our entire careers. I'm also feeling very appreciative tonight of Rabbi Schreibman, of Ann Litsky, of Fern Kamen, all of us having traveled in the same professional circles for many years. It's fun to be here with Danny and Matt in their leadership roles, and with Rabbis Debbie and Sid Hellbrown, along with Lianna's hometown rabbi, Peter Stein. And of course, Lianna's and my very gifted New York-based colleague, Cantor Olivia Brodsky. Then there are more musical connections. Jeremiah's outstanding adult choir, wow, again, and all the Kol Zimra adjacencies over the years. Thank you. And tonight's additional collaborators, Marianne, so wonderful, Jeremiah Fred, and Santa Fe Fred. And I know there are many other familiar faces here as well. I have to say, Steve, wherever you went, unsurprisingly, I feel right at home. Thank you all. So our person of the evening is, of course, Cantor Lianna Mendelson. From our first encounter with Lianna at HUC, we were greatly impressed with her finely honed Jewish identity and comfortable sense of self. In addition to being an excellent singer, she was a devoted student with a spirited mind and a salutary inclination towards serious inquiry. She brought intelligence and depth to her programs and other cantorial responsibilities, and we always knew she would be a boon to any community fortunate enough to experience her leadership. And here we are. In addition to these professional and vocational attributes, it turned out that Cantor Mendelson was simply a delightful and faithful friend among her peers, with a kind and generous heart, always quick to respond in times of need, and dependable as the day is long. All these character traits now stand her in good stead as she excels in connecting people with one another and to Temple Jeremiah. Whether within the synagogue or out and about in the community, Cantor Mendelson is building a cantorate of meaning, inreach, and outreach, extending her activities into all the areas of clergy life and bonding closely with the congregation's rabbinical and programmatic leadership. As congregants, I'm confident that you are experiencing her warmth and relatedness, her eagerness to be involved and to learn with you, alongside her excellent command of the disciplines particular to serving as cantor. Ashrenu, ma tov chelkenu, how greatly we are blessed, how generous is our portion to experience Cantor Mendelson's presence at Temple Jeremiah. And now, Lianna, in your honor, a bit of Torah. She loves Torah. Okay, let's all be honest. We kind of love Torah, don't we? Yeah, okay, all right, we do. Toward the conclusion of this week's parashah in Exodus chapter 24, there's a fascinating narrative about our people's encounter with the eternal. And here's how it begins. Ve'el Moshe amar ale el Adonai. To Moses God said, come up to Adonai. Ata you ve'Aharon Nadav Avihu, and Aaron Nadav and Avihu, v'shiv'i miziknei Yisrael, and 70 elders of Israel, v'hishtachavitem merachok, and bow low from afar, from a long way off. The instruction is for Moses to bring Aaron the high priest, his sons Nadav and Avihu, yes, those same ill-fated sons who later perish over having offered the unsanctioned fire, and 70 elders, all of whom, from a distance, me rachok, are to bow in humility. The passage continues. V'nigash Moshe levado el Adonai, shall draw near Moses by himself to Adonai, v'hem lo yigashu, but they shall not draw near. Unclear exactly who that is. V'ha'am, and the people, lo ya'alu imo, shall not go up with him. So this part of the narrative is a little diffuse. The priests and the elders continue part of the way, but ultimately Moses arrives at the highest point alone, by himself, and the closest. In any case, Ha'am, the Israelites as a whole, definitely do not make this ascent. We remain at a distance. The main question in these verses, then, is about drawing near, v'nigash, and remaining afar, merachok. So the eminent Hasidic teacher, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, takes a great interest in the dynamic between God being afar, far away, and God being near. And he explains. We might say that the blessed Creator has, as it were, two qualities, far and near. The quality of far is when we believe that the light of the blessed infinite stands before all creation, and there is no creature that is able to perceive God. In this sense, it actually is impossible to perceive God, since human thought is constantly changing and renewed. But the Holy One is antecedent to all things, that is, pre-exists our fluctuating consciousness, our comings and our goings. Levi Yitzchak goes even further, referring to two categories of angelic beings. He says, there is not even an ophan or a seraph that can perceive God, since the Holy One is beyond all perception. This is the quality of being afar, far away. God seems distant and separate from all perception. The quality of it, near, is when we believe that the blessed Creator fills all worlds, is in all worlds, surrounds all worlds, and there is no place devoid of God. For melo chol haaretz kavodo, the whole world is full of God's presence. This is the quality of near. We have to believe in both of these qualities, both far and near. And this is a sense of words from Isaiah, shalom. Shalom larachok v'lakarov amar Adonai. Shalom, peace. Shalom, peace. To the far and the near, said Adonai. For that righteous person who believes that the Holy One is both far and near, the Holy One extends all sorts of blessings into the world. Ultimately, Levi Yitzchak's teaching is that the single unitary God is simultaneously far and near. We, like the ancients in the Torah narrative, can experience both of these consciousnesses at once. A primary means of such unification is, of course, music, which is both fully present through its melody, harmony, rhythm, structure, and fully ephemeral, manifesting from the silent spiritual impulse that brings it forth. A composer, then, fashions a musical score that, as it were, links heaven and earth, and a singer, whether cantor or congregant or chorister, is the vessel through which sacred song becomes heard. Spirit becomes voice. It is your commission, Cantor Mendelson, to activate and enliven sacred sonic harmonies through the agency of your own voice, through your musical partnership with this singing community, and in a collaborative alliance with your adult choir, your instrumentalists, your conductor. The God who is separate beyond all perception, and the God whose presence fills the whole world, is unified through song. In helping to connect the far and near, may you, in steadfast alliance with your rabbinical and professional partners, along with this loving community of Temple Jeremiah, experience all sorts of blessings in the world. Ken Yehi Ratzon, so may it be in holiness. Yeah.
As we continue with the formal ritual of installation that actually doesn't involve any power tools or manual tools, but simply voices, I'd like to invite forward our past presidents, members of our board of directors, our senior staff, our emeriti will come up and join us. Rabbi Stein, if you'll come up also and join us.
Should I start? Okay. Cantor Mendelson, we welcome you to a new chapter in the life of our congregation and in the journey of your cantorate. I'm so sorry for my back. We stand with you before the open ark to offer a blessing of welcome and thanksgiving at this sacred time.
We welcome you as you bring your voice to this congregation as its cantor. You're a lucky girl. Oh, it's not in there. Sorry, Rabbi. When we sing God's praises, we open our hearts to the possibility of spiritual renewal.
May your gift of music and spirit help us to sing new songs to God, inspire us to spiritual fulfillment, and help us to find new meaning in the prayers and praises of our hearts.
Let us welcome you with the words of the psalmist, who taught us to bring passion to our tradition through the music of our hearts.
Please join us.
She
In every generation, we have been inspired by teachers of Torah who have challenged us with new songs of learning.
Every opportunity for study evokes new revelation. With this inspiration, the children of Torah become the builders of our future, a future whose story is yet to be told.
May your teachings, your songs, and your vision inspire us with the light of Torah, and may you be inspired by the Torah of our community.
Guided by our prophets, who in the words of Micah said, do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.
May you inspire others to holiness and mitzvot, contentment and peace.
May the song of your spirit be compassionate and fulfilling, bringing wholeness, strength, and healing to those who are
sages who taught, turn the Torah, turn it again and again, for everything you want to know is found within
it. May your study always be filled with the sweetness of Torah, and may your passion and your song illuminate its words, so that we may find new meanings within them.
Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu yivarech et chazanit. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless Cantor Lianna Mendelson on this new journey on which she is about to embark. God, help direct her steps and sustain her in peace. May she find joy and contentment. May her teachings and songs be inspired by the Eternal One as she continues to be a messenger of the holy traditions of our people and of God's love.
I accept this charge with awe and humility as I go forth in song and in spirit, with Torah and mitzvot to lead my path, holiness and compassion to guide my steps, and fullness of faith and love to inspire others.
To God all the earth.
As we prepare to offer the priestly blessing to Cantor Mendelson, I'd like to invite the congregation to rise as you are able. And if those who are on the bema are comfortable doing so, I invite you to place your arms around one another and embracing Cantor as well.
May God bless you and protect you. May the light of God shine on you and bless you always with goodness. May God bless you and watch over you in your cantorate and in every way, with health, with happiness, with fulfillment, and with peace. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Please be seated.
Thank you. You ready for another ride?
What can I say after all of that? Just gratitude and a little Torah. So we heard a lot about this week's portion. Last week's portion contains one of my favorite verses of Torah. After crossing the Red Sea to freedom, but before the revelation at Sinai, Moses is hearing and adjudicating the complaints of all of the Israelites. His father-in-law Yitro comes up to him and says, in Exodus 18:18, "You will surely wear yourself out, and these people as well, for the task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone." This verse sets up a model of leadership that inspires my cantorate. Leadership is not something that you can do alone. It is something that you do in community, both through the community of people that have shaped who you are and together with the community of people that you serve. You can't do holy work alone. I'm so grateful tonight to be able to bring together some of the people who shaped me as a cantor into my new community here at Temple Jeremiah. I think a lot of these people have been thanked already, but I'm going to thank you again in my own words. Thank you to my family and my friends that have become family for traveling here in the cold. I want to extend great thanks to Cantor Richard Cohn, who, as the director of the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music at Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion in New York, when I was a student, was one of my first role models as a cantor. I want to thank my classmate, Cantor Olivia Brodsky, who has been a friend and colleague since we landed in Jerusalem. I want to thank Rabbi Peter Stein, who was there for me as I started thinking about what it would be like to become a Jewish professional and clergy person. In my first pulpit in Santa Fe, I made some lifelong friendships, two of whom are here today. Fred Milder, who helped shape my musicianship as my constant musical collaborator, and Ziva Gunther, who will be a wonderful rabbi and colleague when she finishes her studies. And now I am so grateful to be part of a whole new wonderful team. It is a privilege to be a part of such a dedicated and wonderful and caring group of professionals here at Temple Jeremiah. I want to thank our senior staff, Rabbi Paul Cohen, who is the living embodiment of what it means to be a pastoral presence, Rabbi Rachel Heaps, who both sees and brings out the best in people, Danny Glassman, who keeps all the wheels turning, and Matt Rissian, who brings enthusiasm and connection to everything he does. And thank you to everyone on our staff for everything that you do every day. I also want to thank our lay leadership, President Steve Kleiman, and the whole Temple Jeremiah board, and the chair of the Cantorial Search Committee, Ross Wolfson, and everyone else who served on the committee as well for all of the work that you did to bring me here. I want to thank our emeritus staff, Rabbi Schreibman, Cantor Zussman, Anne, and Fern, who have welcomed me with their kind wisdom. I am so grateful now to have wonderful musical collaborators here at Jeremiah who help bring meaningful music and worship to this community. Fred Kagan is truly so generous with his time and talent and brings so much to our worship. Marianne Kim and Marissa Simmons help lead our music with such professionalism and musicality. And the Temple Jeremiah Choir is so dedicated and truly gives such beautiful music straight from their hearts. And Archie, it is a privilege to watch you grow into your role here as well. And lastly, I want to thank every single member of the Temple Jeremiah community, whether you're here in the room, joining us online, or even just hearing about this after the fact. We are all working together, every single one of us. We are working together to build a meaningful community where we can learn together, pray together, sing together, celebrate together, and support each other through difficult times. A synagogue is a co-creation, not just from its clergy and staff, but also of its members. The task of building a connected, empowered community is too heavy for any one person. But it is not a task for any one person to do. We shoulder it together. Thank you for allowing me into this community to take up my piece of the load. I am so excited to see what we can build here together, and I am grateful to be a part of Temple Jeremiah. We express our gratitude through the words, Modim anachnu lach. אנחנו לך, שעתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, ואימותינו לעולם ועד. מודים אנחנו לך, צור חיינו, מגן אישנו, אתה for the sun that rises in the east, for the seas that roar a prayer, for the stillness of a snowfall, for a breath of autumn air, for the grass within my fingers, for a mind that makes me whole, for the voice that God has given me to speak the truth within my soul. Modim
We're so grateful to have a partner and a friend to share the holy burden of creating community. We're so grateful to have people in our lives that we have learned how to bear that burden and how to live our lives according to their legacy, according to our tradition, according to the values of what makes us the best people we can be. We're so grateful to have people in whose paths we walk every day and whose legacy we continue to live every day. And so we turn our hearts and our minds to those who are no longer physically present in our everyday lives, but forever remain a part of our hearts, our minds, and our souls. If you're joining us in our digital sanctuary, I invite you to write the name of someone whom you are thinking of, whether you're in the period of Shiva or Shloshim, whether you're marking a yahrzeit, or someone just happens to be called to mind at this moment. And as a community, we marked the recent passings of Stephen Baser, Bill Brown, Esther Brown, of Kevin Heaps, Marlene Landman Katz, Michael Scholar, Alexander Shubin, and David Grossman. And we also mourn the passing, in just this week, of Jerry Chern, father of Eric Chern, and Joel Goldhar, husband of Leslie Goldhar. And our hearts, our communities, all around the Jewish world and all around the world, mourn the passing of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir Bibas, and Oded Livshis. This week also marks the yahrzeits of Sophie Bakanoff, of Jerry Behrman, Dorothy Berger, of William Bachneck, Irving Bolin, Ben Kochler, Norbert Dalendine, Isabel Dickstein, Gloria Glynn Dunn, Phyllis Dresner, Jack Feldman, Sylvia Feldman, Marie Frankel, Harriet Friedberg, Jack Friedman, Dora Gomberg, Natalie Green, Suzanne J. Greenfield, Seth Jacobson, Margaret Camp, Raphael Katzchek, Fanny Klein, Susan Klein, Carl Kronstein, Brenda Ross Laredo, Muriel S. Levy, Ernstine Lewinkind, Arlene Luchin, Leo Ovson, Howard Patenkin, Toby Resnick, Donna Rogovin, Kurt Rose, Dora Saldinger, Nettie Sanders, Shirley Smolin, Betty Traeger, Milton Troy, Eugene Weil, Bernard Weinberg, Lila Weinstein, Ida Wexelman, Douglas Wittenberg, Saul Wurtzel, and Betty Zoll. And I invite anyone in addition who's joining us in our physical sanctuary to rise and to say the name of someone whom they are thinking of aloud. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Together as one family, we turn to our Kadisha Tome, our Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Please rise as you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayed kol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmeid kudsha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Shalom.
Zichronam livracha. May their memories always and forever be a blessing. Together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. I feel much better than my voice sounds, okay? I have nothing wrong with me, don't worry, I'm not contagious. Shabbat Shalom and welcome, welcome. What a wonderful, wonderful service tonight. Rabbi Cohn, Rabbi Heaps, Marianne, Fred and Fred, the choir. One of my favorite groups. Thank you, thank you. Today was absolutely beautiful. I know I left someone out, don't worry. A special thank you to Rabbi Stein and Cantors Cohn and Brodsky. You really helped elevate today's service and really was wonderful. Cantor Mendelson, I guess I'm the designated Mendelson family announcement maker because this time though all the rabbis showed up, which is unlike the last time I did this. But Mazel Tov, we are looking forward to many, many years together. For announcements, if you know that Millard Fillmore was the last Whig president, was born on January 7th of 1800, and is buried in Buffalo, New York, or you know any other totally worthless but socially entertaining information, please join us tomorrow night as we continue the celebration. We're having adult trivia, Havdalah, food and drinks. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow here, and we'll continue to celebrate Cantor Lianna's installation. Register on the Temple Jeremiah weekly newsletter online or on the website. For all families with a child who is planning on attending Jewish summer camp, and I'm very biased in this, have your child attend a Jewish summer camp. You have 1 week left, right, Dan? 1 week left to get in your application for the Brotherhood Scholarship. Dan Bellows is the president of Brotherhood. Contact Dan. You can contact him through the newsletter to apply for a scholarship for a Jewish overnight summer camp. And if you know a family that is looking to send their child to religious school next year, please come have them, suggest to them they come Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, when JCUS will be having an open house. And you can learn about the school and all the wonderful things we do. Shabbat Shalom.
Is this thing on? You know, I was going to have the choir come circle around you, and I thought, that's ridiculous. So step into my office. Yes, right into the circle of love. And I'm going to give you some carefully prepared remarks, which I'm thinking of right now. I see Cantor Amy there, and she so firmly established over the years what a magical bond music is, you know, between the membership and the community. And all of us in the adult choir are thrilled that in the short time that you've been here, you've already perceived the strength of that bond, and you're already working to strengthen it even more with your magical collaborations with Marianne Kim and now with Marissa Simmons and with the rest of us. So we want to thank you for your nurturing and creative ways with us, and we look forward to many years of fruitful collaboration with you. So we'd like to present you with this ridiculously large plant, and this is the time to learn, does our new cantor have any plant allergies? Any? So I'm going to make you hold this, and then the choir's going to come up and give you kind of a group. It's the third Fred, yes. So choir, come up and thank the cantor for her time here. I'm trying to delay the inevitable final song. There it is. It's like the final episode of Mary Tyler Moore Group Hug. All right. So you can put that down now. Actually, we'll hand it to the rabbi, and he'll take care of it. Won't you? Thank you.
Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is our closing song. It is a participatory song. You will see the words come up on the screens. Please rise as you are able and remain standing for our closing blessing.
Okay. Can Fred see Marissa? Okay.
Little.
Let's scooch a little.
Zehayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Let the joy of this moment, let the love of this moment, let the happiness and blessing of this moment carry us not only through Shabbat, but into the week, into the month, into the years, into the decades ahead, spreading joy, love, health, and blessing throughout our world. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.